This is the ELA and Mathematics training module for the 2018-19 school year, which is required for all district and school test coordinators, as well as English Language Arts and Mathematics test administrators. The topics we will be covering in this module include scheduling ELA and mathematics assessments, administering the ELA and mathematics assessments appropriately, key elements and features related to online testing and available resources. The 2018-19 ELA and Mathematics statewide test window runs from January 8th through June 7th, 2019. Grades 3 through 8 test windows must not begin until at least 66% of a school's annual instructional days have been completed and must last for at least 4 calendar weeks. High school testing may begin earlier according to the district set test window. Please contact testing help or your school test coordinator for information regarding high school testing. For grades 3 through 8, the ELA and Mathematics summative testing window opens on March 7th. Again, high schools may begin earlier, and please contact testing help for more information. Whichever is administered first, students shouldn't have both the CAT, Computer Adaptive Test, portion and the PT, Performance Task portion of the test open at the same time. Please see Section 7.1 of the TAM for proper planning and administration. The CAT test works similarly to our other OSAS tests, which are also adaptive. The question difficulty adjusts as the student works through the test, providing either easier or more difficult items based on correct or incorrect student responses on the machine-scored items. Similar to as in years past, 12th grade students may have one opportunity to retest in each content area. Prior to administering the content area ELA and mathematics assessment, ensure that the following steps have been taken prior to student login. First, that the test administrator has the approved directions for the beginning of the assessment. Second, the test administrator has activated the correct subject and content component as seen on the tutorial video earlier in this training. And to also ensure that all necessary embedded supports are entered in TIDE and that all non-embedded supports are appropriately provided for student access. Scratch paper continues to be a non-embedded universal tool. Please note that starting this year, scratch paper may not be retained for the CAT portion and is only allowable for being retained for the performance task segment. To retain scratch paper, TAs must direct students to write their names on the scratch paper and then collect and inventory the scratch paper at the end of each test session. Retained scratch paper must be kept in a securely locked room or cabinet that can only be opened by authorized staff. Upon completion of the test, scratch paper must be securely destroyed. If the assessment is idle for over 20 minutes, the system will automatically pause the test. During the CAT segment of the ELA and mathematics assessment, if a test is paused for more than 20 minutes, the student is required to log back into the student interface. Students will return to the item they were working or the subsequent item if they submitted their response. Students may not be permitted to review or change previously answered items. There are no pause restrictions for the ELA and mathematics performance tasks. If a test is paused for more than 20 minutes, the student can return to the section and continue typing his or her responses. For questions regarding the pause rules, refer to Section 6.4 of the TAM or contact testing help. The ELA summative assessment combines 4 elements of the English Language Arts into one test: reading, writing, listening, and research. There will be an overall score for ELA and subscores for each of those 4 elements. Listening items will require each student to have headphones. Please contact your school test coordinator to gain access to the headphones that were sent to your school by testing help. Students at all tested grades will be doing a performance test which will require them to write an essay. Be sure to check the OAM for specific allowable supports. The Oregon Mathematics Summative combines 4 elements of math into one test: concepts and procedures, problem solving, communication, and modeling. There will be an overall score for math and subscores for concepts and procedures, communication, problem solving, and modeling. Here is an example of the embedded calculator. Handheld calculators are only allowed per an IEP or a 504. There are 2 different practice simulations available through the OSAS portal. First, the training test. Training tests are aligned to grade bands and designed for students and TAs to become familiar with the tools within the testing interface. Whereas the practice tests are aligned by specific grades and provides a look at grade-specific operational assessment items. More specific details and purpose can be identified and compared between the training tests and the practice tests. The test blueprint is a document that reflects the content of the assessment. These test blueprints are available on our webpage listed here. And finally, all online resources are available on the PPS assessment webpage.